with their nails done now.
After that we get to see a family which is having a picnic, and they hear the roaring of Kong. They look at the beach and they see Kong which was rising from the water. He was looking super scary, and he saw a small village and he saw humans too. He soon remembered what he came here for and he started destroying village. Of course when he was swimming Monarch noticed him and they followed him, and they were shooting the Kong to stop him. They were shooting everything they had but Kong was very strong and he kept destroying the village. Then we get to see shot of Julian Dennison. He was running out from a small house and he looked at Kong which was burning everything to the ground. Then Kong saw Julian and went towards him. Julian was so scared and he was just looking at Kong. Kong was about to hit him when he heard the roar of Godzilla. Kong looked at the ocean and he saw Godzilla which was looking with super angry face. Godzilla didn't seem to be happy about what Kong was doing, and Godzilla roared at him once again. Kong was looking at him like he wanted to say, "Don't get in my way." Godzilla went towards him. Kong went towards him. And the fight begun. Godzilla first tried to bite Kong but Kong soon dodged and hit Godzilla. Godzilla tried once again, but as it appeared Kong was much stronger than Godzilla because Kong was lighting, but Godzilla was trying to stop him anyway. Kong got to Godzilla's jaw and he was trying to break it, but then Godzilla bit him in the fingers. Kong didn't lose fingers, but it was too painful. Then Kong looked at his hands. He realized his power again. He charged his hands and he hit Godzilla. This was so strong that Godzilla flew away and he got knocked out. Kong was feeling super cool and he went towards Godzilla. Godzilla recovered and stood up. Kong charged again and he hit his feet to Godzilla. Godzilla flew away again and he got dropped in a sea. Kong jumped on his back and he was pushing him in the face. Godzilla was close to death. When Kong looked back at the village which was destroyed, he looked at the people which was crying and who was helping the survivors. Kong felt guilty. He realized that not every human on the earth is evil. Then we start to hear some noises which are coming from Godzilla. Kong felt strange, and then Godzilla struck him with atomic breath and Kong got pushed away. Kong was burned also. Then Godzilla stood up. He was so damaged and he looked at Kong once again with an intimidating face. Kong was feeling guilty for killing innocent. He didn't attack anymore, he just swam in the ocean and he started swimming towards the Skull Island. Godzilla was feeling exhausted and he swam in the sea. After that we get to see James Conrad which is sitting in the room and holding the photo of Madison Weaver from Kong Skull Island. Then Isa Gonzalez came in. If you remember, she was his daughter. Then Isa Gonzalez said that she was missing her mother. Conrad told her that he missed her too, as it was found out Mason and Conrad were married and they got two twin sisters, and when the daughters were 8 years old Mason had died with a cancer. Then Isa got tears and she left the room. After that we see Kong which is swimming towards the Skull Island. When he finally got to Skull Island he stopped on the beach and he was so tired. He started breathing so heavily when the giant bat-like creature, Kamazotz, attacked him. It was the creature which came from the ground. He attacked Kong. He bit him in the neck. Kong tried to take him out but Kamazotz got on his neck and Kong got so angry. Kamazotz was biting him but then Kong finally got him and he dropped him on the lake. And we saw a skull clawer which Kong killed 47 years ago. Kamazotz fell next to Skeleton, and Kong kept him to the ground. Kamazotz was feeling bad and then Kong got his feet up from Kamazotz and he made Kamazotz to bow down to him. After that we get to see a laboratory of Ivanesco which started creating something. Alan, Jonah and Conrad came out and asked the fat doctor about the details. The fat doctor didn't say anything much about it, he just said that this creature which they were making would be very brutal. Then Alexander Skarsgård came, he was doctor also, and asked, "Have you made up name for it?" Then fat doctor answered, "Yes. JM07. Then Alan Jonas said that they'd better start it soon. They started making it. In the center there was some big hole and other small holes around it. They started creating the monster. After that we get to see Godzilla which is swimming in the ocean and we soon get to see the Gisborne which is completely destroyed. Monarch was picking up survivors with vehicles and they were taking them to the safe places. We see Mark Russell which is arriving in Gisborne with Osprey helicopter. There are some soldiers with him too. Mark saw Sam which was also in Gisborne. Mark asked him with a bit angry face, "You told me that this Titan couldn't swim." Sam answered, "He couldn't. But he can." After that we get back to a UNESCO laboratory in which we see doctors which are looking at something. Alan Jonah came in and we see small rooms and monsters were caged inside. There were 18 crab-like creatures, and 19th was 5 bigger than the others and they were sleeping in their small containers. After that we get to see Alexander Skarsgård, Isa Gonzalez and James Conrad who were sitting and they were drinking Pepsi. Conrad was sad. He was missing his wife and then another twin, who was played by Daisy Ridley, joined the conversation and she sat next to them. She said that this was a mistake. Then Conrad looked at her with a bit angry face and he asked her, "What is a mistake?" Another twin, let's call her Patricia, said that all of that was a mistake. Titans shouldn't have controlled over the earth and such things. Then Alan Jonah joined them and he told Patricia that she should have calmed down and have listened to him. Patricia started shouting at Alan Jonah. Alan Jonah couldn't keep his anger and he slapped her in the face. Then Conrad got up and hit Alan Jonah. Jonah got grounded and they heard alarm noises. They ran out immediately. Then they looked at the laboratory. The glass was broken, and the crabs were escaped. Only Big One was left. Then Elgon prepared the soldiers but then Alan Jonah stopped them and he told them that the Big One needed to be fed. That meant that those crab-like creatures would eat humans in Tokyo and they would feed Big One. After that they just go back inside the laboratory and wait. After that we get to see 3 weeks later, we see Lady who is making a poster that somebody disappeared and we get to see other posters of people disappearing. There was a chaos in Tokyo. 40-50 human would disappear every day, and that's why they started evacuating city. Soon Tokyo was completely empty. It became a ghost town. After that we get to see scientists which are working to make Destoroyah bigger but then the crabs are attacking the laboratory too. Scientists were running but the crabs were 3 times bigger than humans and they were eating them. The crabs set their complete chaos. After that we get to see inside the building. We see Alan Jonah, Conrad and the twins are running together. For some reason there wasn't that fat doctor. While running one of the crabs caught Patricia, one of twins, and it was lacerating her so bloody. Then it dropped her finger away. Conrad caught the finger which the crab threw at him accidentally. Conrad couldn't do anything but to run. After that we see them going outside and getting in the spaceship. They get into spaceship and they are lifting off. Then one of the crabs destroyed a gas balloon-like thing which was keeping radiation inside. There were too many things like that and we get to see that Evan's laboratory is halfway destroyed. Then we get to see giant red devil-like monster, Destoroyah, which is rising from there and he is roaring so loud. The loud was so loud that Godzilla and Kong heard that call. After that we get to see shot of Methuselah, Scylla and Behemoth which are sleeping and they also hear the call. They're about to stand up but then they remember who is their true king and they continued sleeping. We also get to see a shot of Titanus Sekhmet, Yamato no Orochi and even Mokumbim who are also ignoring the call. We see Kong which is seeming a bit angry and he is preparing to go to the call. He is picking the Kamazotz and he is swimming in ocean once again and he is swimming towards the call place to stop whatever it is there. We also get to see the shot of Godzilla which is getting on land and he is walking on Isla de Mara. We see him roaring and Rodin comes with him. Godzilla picks up Rodin and they are leaving Isla de Mara. Godzilla swam in the ocean and Rodin was sitting on his dorsal fins. After that we get to see the split screens of Godzilla and Kong. They are both swimming towards the place where they heard the call, while Destoroyah is still there feeding to grow bigger. After an hour of swimming we see Godzilla getting on the land and he is looking around and nobody seems there. We see Rodin which is flying up. Godzilla was about to continue walking when Kong came from the dark and pushed him in the face.